Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're super excited because we're going live with our super amazing guest, super secret guest, and it looks like I'm having some technical difficulties. Oh boy. So okay, it looks like my software decided to delete the broadcast from Facebook. So this is going to be a YouTube exclusive. Our special guest has gotten over 2,000 users signed up for his SaaS platform in just 2 years. He is the founder and CEO of Leadcarrot, and I'm happy to present him now. Hey, Ross, what's going on?
How's it going?
Good. So we
fancy transitions there.
We have a little tech issue. I guess my software deleted the broadcast from Facebook, so we're on YouTube exclusive right now.
Do you need to reset it?
No, I can't. It's too late. It's gone. It's done.
Okay.
So I will let you take the wheel, and would you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Why are you in the car right now? Share a little bit about you.
Well, I would feel rude not to bring up that my father is driving. So, we just bought a new RV out in Indiana, and we sold my old RV, and it's not that old. We bought it last year, but we're delivering it to somebody in it's about 4 hours away. So that is why I am in the car here today. But I am Ross. For those of you guys who might not know me, which might be most of you guys, because I'm not very out there yet in the Gohighlevel community just yet. But I'm the co-founder, I should say, because I have a very amazing business partner and CEO of Leadcarrot. Leadcarrot's a software that does data scraping. We integrate directly in with Gohighlevel. We do have a white label version of Gohighlevel that we've baked our software into. However, the main thing that we do is lead scraping. So I don't know if you're still on here, Christina.
Yeah.
That is what I do, or Christine, but that is what I do.
Yeah. So that's super interesting. Tell us a little bit about, I get this question all the time, Ross, but how do you differentiate your SaaS platform from, let's say, just going to HighLevel and signing up, you know what I mean? How are you unique? Because I think everyone's kind of inherently afraid that if their clients find out what platform they're using, they'll just cancel and go sign up for it on their own, right?
Sure. Well, Leadcarrot in itself is unique, but I will say this, that it should not matter because we don't lead with that's only for people who are trying to compete at a price level or a product level. There's so many things that you can do to decommoditize yourself. And I'll share with you the strategy that I've used a lot for myself, because if you think even about lead scrapers, and sorry if it's bumpy, but if you think about lead scrapers, there's a lot of different scrapers out there that do similar things. It's scraping public data. So how do you differentiate yourself? And what we've really done is put on the front end of it digital products. So we don't ever sell people on our actual software. We sell them on something else that sells them on the software. And the reason that they like our solution is because we provide things around it, training. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that you are a huge fan of Tiger Woods, and you just absolutely love Tiger Woods. You will likely then go out and buy Nike golf balls, potentially Nike clubs. You'll end up getting all this stuff that Tiger Woods uses just because you like Tiger Woods. If you were to side by side the actual golf ball, you'd say, well, what's the difference between that and the Callaway golf ball? Well, they might be able to give you some features on the side that seem semi-different, but at the end of the day, the reason you're buying something is because of who you're following and the brand that you're following. So I think that it's very important for them to think above just selling the software, but you're really starting a company. If it's a software, you're very smart to start an education company. teaching your niche how to do a very specific thing, get a very specific result with that software.
Right. Yeah, that's amazing. That's really important. Cool. So
I do believe too. Oh, go ahead.
that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I do believe that the market always moves closer to a do-it-yourself market. So it starts off very much, you have to hire some skilled person. Like, look at websites. You used to have to go buy hire a developer to build your website and code your website. And anytime you wanted to change, you had to pay them to do it. And now you can go buy a website. You could buy Gohighlevel and build a website, but a drag and drop thing for, on Wix for $30 a month. And it always moves into, you need an expert to do it, to it becomes very do it yourself. And lead generation's taking the same place. It started off, you had to be very skilled in all these different things. And now Facebook, they're making it so easy to generate leads. If you just Google Facebook Power 5, you'll see that, you could basically suck at Facebook ads and run them and likely still get decent results, just because their technology and our AI is getting so good that they can make it, even somebody who's bad, get results. And so that's something that some marketers fear, but I actually say, it's something that people can embrace, because now it gives you the opportunity to run a more scalable business that doesn't involve so much manual fulfillment.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Okay, so I am genuinely curious. I know you got 2,000 users in what, 2 years?
About 2.5 years, we've taken on just over 2,000 users.
Wow, that's crazy. So how did you do that without doing demos? Because I think that's where agencies go to die.
Yeah, well, the problem with demos is that you have these long demos, and then at the end you're collecting $47 a month, and that person could cancel after a month. Mm-hmm. And you think, God, you just gave an hour of someone's life for $47. And that tends to bring in some indecisive people. So what we did was, and I teach this method in my program, we would run a webinar. And it was totally by accident initially. We just realized that this is what was happening. And I would run a webinar to agency owners, and it was talking about how to use stay-at-home moms at the time to set appointments for your agency, and how we've built this entire system around it. And in that webinar, I featured Leadcarrot a few times, because some of the objections that people then face with building a little stay-at-home call team is, well, where am I going to get the data? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? So I would show people how we were utilizing Leadcarrot to do that. And as any good webinar does, it always leaves people wanting more. So then at the end, you can sell them on your product. And what I would do is I'd go to pitch them to the product, and it was a $3,500 program. And on average, you would see about 10 to 20% of those people actually be able to stand up and afford your product, and they would buy it. But then the rest of the people who couldn't afford it, they would try to circumvent what you were doing. And they're like, I'm just going to try to figure it out on my own. And we would see within 20 minutes of that webinar ending, the chats, our support chats, hey, I was just on Ross's webinar and I saw this and blah, 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 blah. If I get this, can I do that? And they'd start asking all these different questions. Do I have to buy this course to be able to buy the software? And I realized that every time I would do a webinar, that we would close about 10 to 20% of those people actually on whatever the course was that we were selling. But then we would end up always taking on about another 10 to 20% of those people in software users. And what was nice about that is they were now paying for themselves, because I've recouped all my costs through the people that paid me the $3,500. If you've got 100 people on a webinar and 10 people pay you $3,500, and now you just got $35,000 and you got a bunch of software users, that was great. And we would always give away the software for about 6 months. When we would get rolling, we'd give it away for 6 months, and then at the end of the 6 months, people were indoctrinated and they'd stick on to it.
That's cool. Awesome. Do you have any tips on putting that webinar together for people?
Yeah, I can give a few tips. And I do go deeper into this in the program, so there's only so much that, in a short amount of time. How long do we even have here today?
I have you scheduled until for an hour, but if you have to hop off before then, that's fine.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure. Even still, an hour is hard to go through it. I guess I would say my biggest tip on a webinar is to get it working really good in the simplest format. A lot of times the thing that keeps people with a webinar from being successful with it, they start from the beginning and they think they literally need to go from the beginning to the end of the webinar in that sequence, and they take forever and it's super intimidating and they just can't seem to figure it out because they don't have real clarity as to what they're going to teach. So I learned this from Jason Fladlin. I always start at the end of the webinar. I don't know if you offer first, and after I've created my offer, I then have really, really good clarity, and then I go back and I make my intro and my secrets because I want to make my webinar fit the offer. So I want to make sure that I'm selling something that's going to push the software. You know what I mean? If you start just talking about what could I do to teach them, and you take it from that aspect, that might not sell anything. Might be really educational. It feels really good on the webinar, and then at the end of the webinar, you go to pitch, and nobody buys, and you're like, why did nobody buy? Because it wasn't on real selling points. So I always like to start at the end of a webinar, get a really good offer. Now I have really good clarity as to now I know how to set it up. Now I know what things I need to get them feeling by the end of that.
That's awesome. So you
now I know you said that there were some Oh, okay, go ahead.
You kind of cut out a little bit, but just to recap, you start at the end. What's your goal, and then you kind of work backwards.
Yeah, because the thing that you're selling, you almost think of it like, I like to think of it like college prerequisites. So like, let's say that you were selling to a real estate agent who you're going to be selling him on, do it himself lead generation. And you're going to sell him your software for all the follow-up. You got to think to yourself, what's the main appointment system? Okay, to work. Well, first, he's going to need to, you might be saying, okay, this is great. I have this awesome system, these snapshots, all these automations, but I don't have enough leads. So how am I going to get leads? Well, then you create a bonus. That's okay. I got Realtor, my proven Rolodex of Realtor plug and play Facebook ads. Even if you're not an expert, you can plug and play these and you're going to be able to generate leads on blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, that's wonderful, but I don't actually know how to hook up automations. No problem. We got a bonus here, broker automations, and whatever. You come up with bonuses that are basically like prerequisites would be, in order for me to be able to know how to do this, I'm going to need to know this, 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 and this, because what you find is those are usually objections. And if you could shatter those objections with a bonus, that's going to be a really great offer. And so that's typically how we would do it, is we would go through and we'd say, okay, well, this guy, they're going to need, now that they know how to hire moms, or they're going to get this training on it, what else are they going to need? You might be wondering how you're going to be able to supply them with enough phone numbers to be able to make phone calls all day. No problem. I'm going to give you 6 months of Leadcarrot for free. You know what I mean? And that's how we would start positioning those things.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, awesome. Guys, if you have questions, make sure to drop them in the chat for Ross. I want to make sure we cover all the bullet points that on the interview as well. So we covered how you got 2,000 users, how you get 5 to 20 signups per day with the webinars, right? And I'm guessing that wasn't all at once. That's kind of building.
No, that's built up because I haven't done a webinar for it in like 6 months for Leadcarrot. We're not even running ads to it. We're still getting that right now.
Cool. Do you have like a really good affiliate or referral program?
No, I actually don't like the affiliate model that much personally, because So look at what happened, for instance, to ClickFunnels. I'll just use them as an example. They've pushed their affiliates so long, and then when they started taking things away, so they used to get 40%, and when they made their affiliate program real attractive, and then as that was just killing their bottom line, they started pulling back on that, and they've lost all of those diehard people. And you look at, there's so many people that were diehard funnel hackers that are now switching over to Gohighlevel. Just because it's a better option for them anyways, because they're actually able to white label it. But I don't like the affiliate I love having affiliates if they want to push it, if that on their own. And we have a few that are really good, decent people. But the majority of our traffic actually now comes from SEO.
Wow. Okay.
Our organic traffic. And that includes things like YouTube videos, different things like that. So getting out there and trying to build an actual brand around it. One thing that I've found, and this is a good little takeaway, a good little golden nugget, is that everybody is so focused on building their personal brand. And I personally don't give a crap about building a personal brand, because my philosophy is that if you just build a real brand, your personal brand will automatically get built with it. So if you think about Steve Jobs or Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, any of these names that anyone would recognize, they never set out to try to be a celebrity and build a personal brand. They set out to build big, successful companies, and those companies built their brand. And it feels more genuine anyways, because if you look at, for instance, your standard guru, agency guru, they have to try so hard to make you believe them and that you're legit, because they don't have enough credibility and social proof and other aspects. But when people know you're a company, you don't have to try any of that, because they believe you. They know who you are. They've seen your stuff.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy. Super important, guys. I hope you guys are finding value in this. Give us some love. I don't know if you can like on YouTube. I've not done the live streams very often myself, attendee-wise. Give us some love. Questions in the comments, guys. Okay. Now we're going to get into some meat and potatoes, if that's cool. Is that cool?
I'm good with it.
Okay, awesome. All right. So we're getting some questions. My Academy students actually get first dibs on Q&A with you. So Amy is asking, it shows Leadcarrot is built on ClickFunnels. Is that right?
No, Leadcarrot is actually built on WordPress. Where does it show Leadcarrot's built on ClickFunnels?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually built on WordPress. And I don't know enough about Gohighlevel to be able to say a valid answer on this, but I probably wouldn't even build my Gohighlevel, my main website for my software on Gohighlevel, just because of SEO. I don't know enough about how the back end of it works, but I do know that WordPress stuff ranks really well. About a year ago, I started focusing really heavy on trying to get backlinks to our site. We've got over 200 backlinks now, and writing a lot of blog articles. I was doing that at the time. I would write blog articles on different things, and those things are still pushing traffic every single day to our software. And even just getting things like this, for instance, this is an example of, we're sitting on your YouTube channel, and this will live on YouTube for a very, very long time. And even if it's just trickling here and there, I still have people back from my very first interview in the ClickFunnels when Dave Woodward interviewed me. I still have people finding me from that thing and going and finding Leadcarrot and buying Leadcarrot. So it's just a matter of consistency. Everybody wants like a magic pill, a magic bullet to like, boom, I've now got, this successful traffic and all these different things coming. But it's just about showing up every single day, putting in the work, having a game plan. And actually, my father and I, because he's driving, we were just talking about this, that it's funny how if your software becomes your goalpost almost, or your light tower, you could say, everything you build is to build the brand of that light tower. And the reason why you have to do that is because it's very unlikely that, let's say somebody right now is working a 9-to-5 job and they have this vision that, hey, I want to build a white label version of Gohighlevel. It's very unlikely that they're going to, within a month or two, have enough cash flow to feel confident that they can quit their job. That's just the reality of it. And I'm not one of these entrepreneurs who bashes on 9-to-5s, because I think that many people, while they're getting their thing going, who have families, they have to do those things. But I do believe that if you sell digital products up front, it can help mitigate a lot of that and increase your cash flow rather quickly. Because if you were to, for instance, go after insurance agents, realtors, whatever, you get a bunch of them on a webinar and you pitch them and you can close $20,000 to $50,000 in sales. That's great cash that you're getting in bulk, and that's going to make you feel, safer about building it. But then every time you're building a digital product, you're building it with your software in mind. You're teaching them how to do something with it. We've got operations classes, we've got lead classes, all those things.
Yeah, that's super important. Educate, super important. I totally agree with you. I would love, by the way, another time to have a debate with you on, should I do SaaS or should I be an affiliate?
Whenever. I'd love it.
That would be fun. Okay, so if you guys want that, let us know in the comments.
Why, do you do affiliate stuff?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I didn't necessarily know that. I didn't mean to rain on any parades, but we should do a debate.
Yeah, I would love that. Super cool. Okay. Okay, Harley is one of my Academy students, and he wants to know, what is your sales call process? So did you do all cold calls or paid ads to push to a funnel that ended in a sales call? Besides the webinar.
Yeah, so I am a huge fan, not of software cold calling, but in agencies. So a lot of people think Ross, oh, he's the cold call guy. Not for software. We are considering, and I actually just challenged my father because he does a lot of sales coaching for us. I've challenged him to take our cold call team and see if that's a valid model for getting users. I could not see. I'll tell you the experience that I had when we did try demos and why we don't do cold calls, because it kind of bleeds into that. But there was a guy he's a great human being, really nice dude. But we were like, okay, let's start scheduling demos and see if this demo model works. This was last summer. And he actually quit from ClickFunnels to come work with us. And we started running ads, and I can literally schedule $11 to $15 demos. It's so easy to schedule demos. And we were running, and I had every single day him just stacked. And I told him, only sell annual on the demo and give them an offer and say, hey, if you buy annual today, we'll give you this here for free. And it would be like a digital product or something. And it was working okay. It was selling okay. But then what happened was I started noticing on those people, because now you're paying salespeople commissions. You've got a lot more front end loaded cost. And if I just run ads, I get about a $47 acquisition. It's about the same as my course. It's funny. It hovers between $45 and $55, so right there in the middle from an acquisition cost, and that's with no demo. So I much prefer that way. But then I just started realizing that people who sign up quick without a demo, they also leave quick, so they don't retain as well. So that's why we sell digital products, because those people retain very well. If you sell them on a digital product, they get it free. I love using ClickFunnels as an example, because no one can deny that they're amazing marketers. Their software just sucks. And if you think about that, they sold ClickFunnels for 6 months for free, and they gave you funnel hacks. That's essentially what they did. And it's genius, because you can either pay $97 a month for 6 months and buy their software for $600, or if you pay $1,000, it costs nothing. It educates their customers better. It gets them activated better, and you make an extra $300 over the next 6 months than you would have. So I personally just love the model of giving it away for 3 to 6 months, selling them a digital product with it, and calling it a day.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. So
it really decommoditizes your offer too.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, there's a delay.
It's okay. Yeah, you're kind of coming in and out a little bit, but I think we can kind of understand the gist of what you're saying. Nat is asking price point demo, onboarding process, and best practice. That's a lot. But let's talk about pricing for a little bit. How do you determine what to charge?
Yeah. So there's been math out there that shows that anything under $97 or statistics, people have a lower retention rate with. Because people who are willing to pay at least $97, they tend to retain a little better. And I can say that that's true because we do have a $47 and a $297 offer. And the $47 people do rotate quicker than a $297. We're in a different vertical, so we're priced competitively with our competitors, so that's why we have different levels of that. I would say this though. One of my biggest pet peeves in like the Gohighlevel group is when someone will screenshot someone's ad and be like, this guy's selling the whole thing for only $50 a month. How are we ever going to compete with that? And I think to myself, how much are you paying a month to offer unlimited accounts? $300 to $500. So like, get over it. You know, everybody can have their own model. And I do think that having something that's around that $97 price point for getting your foot in the door is really essential to not doing demos. Because if I think that I'm going to have to pay $500 a month for something, I'm likely going to need more information, because the higher your prices, the more you raise in objections. For me, if I'm looking at something, if I get into it for $97 and I hate it, well, that's okay. I'm only out $97. And if I need more of it, then I can always upgrade. So I am a big fan of people signing up for my software while I'm sleeping, taking a poop, or hanging out with my kids. And that's just something that's like my own personal, my dad's laughing over here. That's my own personal thing. I love to be able to be doing either one of those things and see a sale come across my Stripe account. And you have to be priced accordingly if you want to be able to see those things. A lot of times you'll see someone in the group and they don't give you enough context around, I'm selling mine for $1,000 a month. They're likely also running some sort of Facebook ads for them, or they've signed them up on some sort of course and they're doing installation payments. So people don't give the full context. They just like to try to, flaunt their pricing and so forth. But go look at Salesforce. Yeah. Salesforce, the camera back on and you were still laughing, I guess, or you had a big grin on your face. So maybe you were thinking the same thing.
I've seen that.
Yeah. But look at Salesforce. They have stuff as cheap as like $50, maybe even less, $30. Mm-hmm. You look at Pipedrive, you can get in at $20. Now, I understand that you're saving people a lot of money and you're consolidating a lot of those things, but I'm not opposed to, something 97.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
I think my software went out for.
You're in a very bad area right now.
I would rather have 10 people.
Oh, no. Okay. Stick with us, guys. I think he's going to come back. I want to talk about, while he's coming back, the SaaS affiliate, SaaS versus, okay, never mind, he's back. All right. Sorry, you
can't start talking about that stuff once I'm gone. You got to wait till we're face to face.
All right, so you said you'd rather have 10 what? Do that, yeah. You cut out on me.
I said you can't talk about the affiliate versus SaaS when I'm. Yeah, I said you can't go with affiliate versus SaaS when I'm not here.
Okay, fair enough. But you said you would rather have 10 what? And then you cut out on me.
I'd rather have 10 people paying me $97 a month rather than one person paying me $997 a month in the software world. It's different from agency because in agency, you would obviously rather have more money coming in for less, but and you still, even in agency, need to find a middle ground on that. But you're not putting in a lot of work on 10 people. If you've got a good support system, a good help desk, you're not putting a lot of work, but you're much more stable at 97. If you have 10 people paying you 97, because all it takes is one person to leave and now you're screwed.
Yeah, for sure. I totally get that. Amy wants to know, how big is your support team with 2,000 users?
Well, the thing is that most people will realize very quickly that when you get a lot of subscribers, some of them are coming in through your lifetime deals, some of them are coming in through courses and things like that. And so not all of them are always going to remain active. In fact, you'll get a lot of software subscribers that sign up, and it's unfortunate, but it's like a course. They pay it every single month, but they're not even using it. So we've only got right now, and that tends to do just fine for us.
How many? I'm sorry?
3 full-time and 1 part-time.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you totally cut out that one little part. It's all good. Okay. Sherm wants to know, do you scrape LinkedIn?
It's something we're working on right now. LinkedIn is a difficult beast to scrape because you have to come at it from certain pages. Otherwise, it's a very, very hard thing. You have to spin up a ton of LinkedIn accounts to be able to do it. So it's something we're working on. It is not something we currently do.
Okay, cool.
It's very hard.
Yeah. Ty says, our blog is on WordPress, our site is on HighLevel. Would that work?
Well, you're building domain strength at least. I'm not the smartest SEO guy in the world. I could put you in touch with some smart SEO people that have done all the consulting on our stuff and even optimized our stuff. So you feel free to reach out and I can put you in touch with a good SEO guy. I focus on the who, not the how in those instances personally.
Okay. All right. Cool. Jim said he just joined my academy. Woo, woo. Welcome, Jim. If you got any questions for Ross, make sure to put them in the chat, okay? What is the lead searches feature in your offer?
Yeah, that's actually our main offering on Leadcarrot. So what it does is, let's say that you are looking for chiropractors in Milwaukee. You type that in the search. It pulls up all the chiropractors in Milwaukee. It goes to their websites. It scrapes data from their websites. It goes to Yelp and Google and gets their reviews. Tells you if there's a Facebook pixel installed. It tells you if it's mobile optimized, if it has an SSL certificate. So a lot of data like that. It does it within seconds. It pulls that data back. So we use it a lot for prospecting after people in the B2B space. In fact, you could use that really, really well even in for software. If you're going after a specific vertical, it could be dentist, it could be anything. Having data like that can really help you because you can do cold emails, you can build a custom audience, all of that out of it.
Cool. All right, awesome. And if they're interested in Leadcarrot, do they need to use a different email?
Yeah, the easiest way if you're on Gohighlevel to use Leadcarrot is go to gohighlevel.scraper.com. And that will actually get you into Leadcarrot. But what it does is it makes it to where you're bypassing the white label version of Gohighlevel. Because if you go through our main website, it's going to automatically spin you up a Gohighlevel account, a sub account, which is cool, but you might not need that. We did change the look of ours, which confuses people because we have that vertical menu and we've changed spacing and padding and colors and fonts. And so even people who are on Gohighlevel, they'll get on it or they'll sign up thinking, oh, I just wanted to see your CRM as well. I didn't realize it was Gohighlevel.
Yeah, that's cool. I know your branding is clutch, by the way. Love it.
Thank you.
Okay. Joshua says, how long did it take to reach that break-even acquisition for ad spend?
It was immediate for us because I had programs before I had a software. So my programs actually created the need for my software, not the other way around. And so that's why I actually believe in that model so much of selling courses and including your software for a period of time, because you break even right out of the gate. You know, as long as you're selling, you have an offer that sells. So that would be my thinking on that. One other thing I'd like to add to that is, if you think about how much of a pain in the butt it is to switch cell phones or laptops because you have all your data and all your stuff on your actual laptop, it's the same with your software. So if you get someone on your software and you charge them $1,000 for 6 months because they bought a course from you, sometimes you wonder, well, will they stick with me even if they know it's Gohighlevel? Well, if they've got all of their stuff set up in yours, it's a pain in the butt to switch domains and all that junk. And so you're very likely to retain those people.
Cool. Would you share how you set up your value ladder? Is it all digital products? Are you offering any continuity services? And if so, what types?
Yeah, so my value ladder is simple, but I have added a lot of front end offers to it. So right now, the way that we set it up is we actually have it. I don't know if you're familiar with the double-sided value ladder, but it's where basically if you can imagine a value ladder and then it comes back down on the other side. And we don't think of it so much as a linear process because everybody's in a different place in their business, but we think of it as an ecosystem. So for instance, if somebody buys my software first, if they end up going, what are other things that they need? So if they buy my software, we have appointments on autopilot, which is a mini course. The next day they get an email from me that says, hey, we find that Leadcarrot users who have read this ebook get X amount better results. And then they get an ebook. They can purchase a $9.97 ebook from me. At the end of that ebook, it upsells them into a $597 bundle program that we have. And then we have other little mini programs throughout the way. I just don't I'm not a big fan of the value ladder in the sense of a lot of people think it has to go this way. But people are going to come in at that ladder at different places and different steps. And so I don't want it to be where, hey, if they start at the software, well, then I got to maybe work them backwards a little bit or go into a different place. If I'm running ads to it, it's a little different. So when I'm running ads to my webinar. So that's the beginning stage of my value ladder. Then they go into my webinar and it upsells them into my program. So that would be the progression there. And then what I recommend is anytime you get a webinar that is just crushing it and you're getting those 10 to 20% conversions at the end of every time, send that webinar to a ghostwriter and have them turn it into an ebook and then start pushing that ebook and it'll just do wonders for you.
Wow, that's super smart, guys. Are you happy with this knowledge bomb being dropped on you today? Give us some love. Okay, cool. So I think this is kind of naturally leading us to how do they find out more, Ross? How do they find out more? How do they learn how to do the VSL, the webinar, the ads, everything like that? Do you teach that?
Yep. So I do have a program out right now that we just launched a couple weeks ago, and it's called SaaS Mode. It's a program. It's a course. It does come with a cool Gohighlevel customizer tool. I did give Christine a specific link so that way they can get some extra bonuses. And I think she's got some bonuses, or a bonus or something. But what I was going to say is that we just offered, it was a deal that just recently ended, but I would extend it to anybody that wanted to come through who came from your link, where it's a free YouTube ads course on running YouTube ads for software. So if somebody would like to, but I'll walk you through a little bit about what that offer is, what it includes, so that way people really know what's in there. Let's see, it's at saas.nerdlevel.io. I like that domain, by the way. So the first thing that they get in there is the actual program. SaaS Mode walks them through in a much detailed level what we spoke about as far as, I have three main methods of acquisition: webinars, SEO, and I have another method called the verse method, which we didn't actually go through, but it has to do with Google Ads and comparison articles, etc. And then we sell them through a little web chat down in the bottom. We don't have enough time, and it's a whole can of worms there. But I take them through in a deeper level on those 3 different strategies. So by the time they're finished with that program, they've got a clear idea as to how you go get users. Because if you think about, you just got Gohighlevel, maybe you've done the customizer, you've done a few different things, and maybe you went live a few times and you show it, and people are interested, but then it starts burning out, and you're like, where do I go from here? How do I get users? My audience is burned out. Maybe you have no audience at all. How do you get users? That's what it does. It helps people from there to have a clear direction as to how they actually start getting traffic. But then they're going to need a few things. So one of the things I do believe is that people should do more than just little CSS customizations. It's cool to change colors and fonts, but at the end of the day, structurally changing your platform is something that I think is important, because if somebody does see it, then they won't be like, I think that's the same thing I have. So that's why I personally like to structurally change it. And we actually, right now, you can make it look exactly like Leadcarrot does, but we've come up with a very, very cool technology that will be released that anyone in my program will get access to over the coming months. And what we did is this is going to get a little nerd level for you, but we attached from a development end a unique identifier to every single function within Gohighlevel and created an API layer that we could call. And what that means is that now we can blank out the entire screen of Gohighlevel, and we get to build from scratch our own themes. So we have stuff that looks like Podium. We have stuff that looks like Apple style. We have stuff coming that looks like Pipedrive, different looks but you can change them, customize the colors. And if you could almost think about it like you're building a funnel, and it allowed us to do anything because we're wiped them out and we're starting them from scratch, and we just make them communicate to those existing elements. So anybody who gets the program, they get free access to that stuff when it comes out. Also, within about 3 to 6 months, you'll be able to have your own custom branded Gohighlevel app. So you can make it your own thing. You can put your own branding on there. It's not by Gohighlevel, but the API, it'll speak directly to it. So it'll be on the App Store with your name. That comes with the program for free when that comes out as well. All you have to do is make sure you have your own developer account on the Google Play Store and the Google App Store. And sometime over the next 2 weeks, it should be for you. You just create the account, we deploy it for you. So that way you have, it just makes it nice. So that way, as you're selling it, it looks more legit for people, because you're not saying, oh, you have to go to this, or oh, you have to go to the HighLevel app or the Lead Connect, but you can actually say, oh, you go to the Leadcarrot app, or you go to whatever your brand app is, and it just makes you look more like your own solid company, and also gives that confidence to your consumer. There was data out there that said that CRMs that have an app are likely to grow 70% faster than CRMs without an app. So that's why we find that that's so important. There's also some data that shows how many billions of dollars the CRM industry is going to grow by over the next 5 years. And so even if you just capitalized on a little bit of that, I think that it would be important. So you get all of those good things. And also, once you're in our community for that stuff, we're constantly pushing out little quick wins for people, and they'll get access to that as well.
Cool. Awesome. Well, guys, the little bonus that you get if you use this link to sign up for SaaS mode with Ross, I'm going to send you guys the SaaS snapshot from my program. So you guys are going to get my SaaS snapshot. And then you have to use the same email that you used in the chat bot. So make sure you follow the instructions.
And also, you can just message us, and if at the end, just so we know, and say, hey, we came for Christine's thing, so that way we can get you the YouTube training.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Ross, it's been a pleasure to have you here on my channel, and thank you so much for taking time out of your amazingly busy day to come drop knowledge bombs with me and my community. Eternally grateful. So guys, go follow Ross. Go look at his stuff. If you want to learn SaaS, he's the person to learn it from.
And let me know when we're putting on the boxing gloves.
I will. We'll have to schedule that. That's going to be fun. Cool. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Have an amazing weekend.
Hey, thanks a lot. See you guys.